All right, so we have ourselves a few tanks here on this train. I wonder where they're going, huh? So for today's video is pretty much just going to be giving you guys information, different kinds of tips and things that will help you out with your party rental business and how you guys can move forward, okay? Because that's what we all want to do. Times are escalating right now, everything going on in the Middle East and stuff like that. I know there's a lot of tension going on. Is business going to be affected? All these different kinds of things. All we can do is control what we can control. So today's video is going to be just spilling out some knowledge for you guys. If I can help you in any kind of way, I will. If you have questions, drop them down below. All right, and subscribe if you guys like anything that has to do with business and entrepreneurship. All right, let's go. For those of you wondering, you can definitely carry tables on this dolly, and I'll show you here very quick. As long as you guys have a nice flat surface or area where you can actually use the dolly, you can carry tables, okay? What you don't want to do is go on a hill or anything with it, because then you're not going to be able to control it. And if you're not on even surfaces, they can roll off on either end. All right, so very quick, another tip that I can give you: load up your tables first. Load your tables up first. Out of all the equipment you have, if you're gonna be delivering tables, load them up first. The reason why is because you don't want to take up all the space in the back of the truck, okay? If I put these tables in last, I'm not gonna have a way to really secure them. So if you put them up here and you secure them up against the back rack, now you have more space back here to load up more things, okay? And then since I have the back extension that I can put on the back of the truck, I can extend my poles out through the sides, all right? So you guys will see here that there's some gaps in between back here. You can put your poles in through there and it'll maximize how many poles you can carry. And those poles can go all the way up this side here, so that you can put as many poles as you can if you are carrying tents as well, all right? So with the tables, load them up first, secure them, and then everything else can come after. All right, let's go get some chairs that I have still to bring to the front, and I'll show you how I load those up. All right guys, so very quick, you guys can see that I loaded up the dolly with these many chairs. If you're gonna be going up a hill, you don't want to do this, okay? I'm only doing this because I'm gonna be going down this hill and then down to my truck. All right, so make sure if you're gonna use a dolly, use it the right way. Don't try to get too creative or be too strong. Do it to where it makes sense, and then you guys will work smarter, not harder. So if you're gonna go up a hill, don't do this. The max I would do is probably about 10 chairs, 10 or even 15, 20 chairs, but no more than that. Hey guys, sorry I forgot to mention that I'm talking about the basic chairs, not these chairs in particular. So as you can see, with very minimal effort, I'm actually just cruising along with all these chairs. If I had to carry this by hand, it would take me about, I don't know, 6 trips with both hands full. So this is why having a dolly is important for your company, so that you guys can maximize your time and not be out here too long. All right, so I'll finish loading these up, and then I'll show you guys how I get the dolly up on the back of the truck. In case you guys have your own pickup trucks and you don't know how to put your dolly in the back, I'll show you what I do and what works for me, because it's been effective so far and it lets me maximize the back of my pickup. All right guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and load up the dolly. So what I did here is I have a few chairs right here, and there's a reason for that. I'm gonna go ahead and put the back extension on the back of the truck, and then I'm going to put these chairs on top of the dolly when I get the front hooks in, okay? So if you guys don't know, this dolly has some hooks that are pretty long, okay? These hooks are going to go underneath the extension here, and then I'm gonna put these chairs so that I can add some weight and the dolly's not just gonna fall back on me. All right, so that's why I left some chairs out there on the side. Phone down to here again and show you exactly what that looks like. All right, so now that I put those 6 chairs there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ratchet strap the actual dolly to the truck, okay? That way it doesn't go anywhere. The chairs is just temporary. It's so that I don't have to hold the dolly and strap it in at the same time. This is just a trick that I found out. You guys can do whatever works for you. And then I'll just strap it in and we'll be good to go for the road. All right, guys, so the dolly is now ratchet strapped. If I wanted to, I can leave it like that. But better safe than sorry, okay? That is always the rule of the game. So I have another ratchet strap that I'm gonna put on it so that it can give it some extra security. You guys wanna make sure you secure your load, because if anything falls off on the highway, it's on you, okay? It's no one else's fault, and you can really hurt someone. If this dolly falls off, someone can really get injured or even pass away, okay? So be careful with what you're loading up and how you load it up. All right, guys, so now that the dolly is secured, this chair that I was using to hold the phone up, I'm actually gonna just throw it in here and we'll be good to go. This right here is not gonna go anywhere. So times are getting very tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. The war that could potentially happen right now, we don't know what's gonna happen, okay? We don't know how it's gonna affect business and stuff like that as far as luxuries, because I feel like although it is kind of recession proof, okay, the party industry is kind of recession proof because of all the events that go on yearly. You just never know what's going to happen in the middle of a war, okay? So if we end up getting into a war, which hasn't been officially declared, I don't know what's going to happen. I know that COVID hit us by storm and we had to survive COVID. I don't know what's going to happen with the war. People might end up holding on to money longer. They're not going to want to, you know, have events with tents and stuff like that. Maybe they'll just use their garage or their basement to save money. Because as of right now, you guys can already see the markets are also taking a hit, okay? Just in the last week, my portfolio in crypto has gone down about $10,000, just to give you an idea. So it is affecting us in some kind of way. Now, I don't know what it's going to do to the party industry, okay? Because people are going to want to hold on to more money. They're going to want to have that liquid cash available so that they can, you know, make it through the war until the markets get better. We don't know if these oil prices are going to go up because of all the tension in the Middle East, okay? These are things that as a business owner, you have to be aware that are happening. But at the same time, you also have to make sure that you're doing the best that you can with what you can control, okay? And right now, what I can control is my Google Ads and my customer service, okay? And making sure that I do the best that I can so that I can keep getting more and more clients, okay, to come back to me. So you have to be grounded. You have to understand that things are not always going to be controllable, okay? Like I said, I haven't lost it because I haven't sold, but I've gone down $10,000 on my portfolio for crypto just in the last 5 days, okay? But that is what happens when you have investments. That is what happens when you take risk, okay? There's a risk to reward that you take for anything, okay? Either business or if you're trading, anything like that, you're gonna always have a risk and you're always gonna have a reward, okay? So right now, I'm gonna go with what I can control. We picked up these tables and chairs. I'm gonna head back home and then I'll continue on. Hopefully you guys can get some value out of today's video. I wanted this to be more of a chill video instead of just always on the grind. You seeing me working. I actually want to talk to you, engage with you a little more so that we can continue to grow this community. All right, so I just finished unloading into the garage. I don't know if it slipped my mind or not, but I haven't told you guys about this portable bar, okay? These portable bars, you can find them on Amazon for about $300 to $350. If you go on Facebook Marketplace, you might be able to find these a lot cheaper. But this right here is a foldable portable bar. And you can rent these out for about $85 a pop, okay? So every time this goes out, it makes me $85. This is a very good piece to add on to your party rentals because people have drinks. Even if it's not an alcoholic beverage, they're going to have Cokes, they're going to have refreshments, and they want to have a place to serve those from, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it together very quick, show you how easy it is and how something this simple can make you some more money for your company, all right? So let me go ahead and set the phone down so you guys can see that. All right, guys, so this is how simple this is, okay? Pretty much when you get it, it's gonna already come assembled this far, all right? And all you have to do is open up the sides here, okay? And I'll turn it so you guys can see it. You open up the sides and you got the inside, all right? And then there is a shelf on the inside that you bring up and then you push down on the sides to bring down some hook levers. Okay, now you pretty much have the shelving in here that you guys can see. Okay, so that is how simple it is to get this far on the process. Now for the top of the bar is this section right here. Okay, and I'll show you exactly how easy that is. It's hard to do all this without a camera person, so hopefully the video comes out good. You guys don't get too distracted, but you go ahead, you set this on top, and there you go. I have a full bar that I can rent out. My customers will be happy. You guys see this here. They can put in their refreshments. If they want to put a cooler down here, they can do that. But again, $85 is how much I rent this out for. So after about 4 rentals, this has already paid itself off, okay? It's paid itself off and it's already making us profit, okay? And it looks good. It's not something that looks ugly, all right? It looks good. You guys can see here, this is the front side. You guys can get different colors. You can get a white one if you want to. But these are things that you want to add on to your inventory so that you guys can keep building profit. What's up, guys? So we're back in the office today. The pickup was yesterday that we did with some tables and chairs. I promised you guys I'll show you the invoice. So here's the invoice right here. It consisted of 4 tables, 4 60-inch round tables, 30 resin white chairs. Those are the ones that have the pads on them, so they're a little bit fancier. And delivery, okay? So with all of that, we made $201 with 93 cents, all right? It might not seem like a lot, but when you consider the fact that I didn't do much work and it was just tables and chairs, I made $201. Someone that is working a normal 9 to 5, and I remember when I used to work my normal 9 to 5, $201 was pretty much what I made in an entire day. So when I can make this just by delivering a couple chairs and tables, is not a bad deal. So that's the invoice there for that pickup that you guys saw yesterday. Now in the beginning of the video, you guys also got to see a video clip of some tanks on top of a train, okay? And you guys will see it here on the side of the video. I was pretty much on my way to pick up that order yesterday, and that's where I saw that train. It was at a complete stop, and I saw all those tanks, and I was like, you know what, let me record this. And that's here in Georgia, okay? Hopefully that's not classified or anything. But just to show you that things are moving on, we don't know what's going to happen. If there is going to be a war of some kind, we just don't know at this point. But I did catch that, and that's the reason why I mentioned it in the video yesterday while I was recording. You just have to be able to adapt to whatever goes on with the markets and everything like that, just because of this war that could potentially happen, okay? And now, to add on to that, I have seen a few comments lately where I see that people are afraid to start. You know, they don't want to get going with whatever business venture they're trying to look for. They might be afraid to get started. They don't know how things are going to happen, what's going to happen. And that's completely normal, guys. That is completely normal. I can tell you that anytime that I'm about to get into something, I definitely have everything running through my head nonstop, okay? I'll tell you, I have the kind of personality where literally my mind does not stop, okay? It does not stop. And my wife can attest to this. Literally, my mind does not stop thinking. Every single second that goes by throughout the day that I'm not occupied doing something, I am thinking, okay? I'm on Grok, I'm on some kind of AI looking for the next big thing, okay? That is literally me, all right? So I know that when you're first getting started with something that you want to move into it, you kind of get wary, you don't know what's going to happen. That's normal, okay? Don't think that you're not a good entrepreneur just because you have those thoughts. It's good that you have those thoughts because it's going to make you more cautious, all right? It's going to make you a better entrepreneur because I would say if you're not afraid of anything, then you're not going to make the mistakes you need to make. I will say that if you're nervous or if you're afraid, that's actually a good thing sometimes, okay? Because it keeps you grounded. It lets you live in reality and not in some kind of fantasy, okay? So the fact that you're afraid, that you're not sure if it's the right thing to do, that's normal, okay? If you meet an entrepreneur out there that's not afraid of anything and has never been nervous, then I don't know what they're drinking or what they're injecting, but Just, I'm letting you know it is a normal feeling, okay? Now, what I will say is that even if you're nervous or afraid, you still have to make sure you adapt and overcome, okay? So although it's a normal feeling, you still have to make sure that you overcome whatever that is, okay? Once you see that it's working, once you see that you can get a hang of it, go ahead and perfect your craft and move forward, all right? That's the only way through this, okay? When I first left law enforcement, I was leaving a normal, career. I had a paid salary. It was guaranteed, all right? Guaranteed pay. And that's something that a lot of people look for. They look for security. They want to have stabilization. And I left policing to get into car sales, which was 100% commission. But I can tell you, I was nervous, I was afraid, not because I was scared internally, but because I was afraid to fail for my family, because I needed to provide. And now I'm going into a full-time commission-based job, career, and I can tell you, I don't regret that decision at all, okay? I went from making $1,400 after taxes every 2 weeks to $10,000 plus every single month selling cars, okay? I became the top salesman in my dealership, and that's a good feeling when you can do that coming from a background that I had. So I took that leap of faith, okay? I took that leap. I was a little afraid, I was nervous, but we made it through. And I can tell you that it's a normal feeling. Anytime you're about to start something new, it is normal, okay? I kind of wanted to get a little more personal with you today. I wanted to kind of break that ice that a lot of you might have right now. Maybe you're afraid to get started in whatever business you're trying to start, whatever side hustle. But I can sit here and tell you that because I took the risk that I took, I was able to get to a better position, all right? And obviously we're not done yet. I'm trying to continue to grow. I want to make sure my family is set for life. That is my goal before I leave this earth. Now, for those of you that are in the community, you probably saw a post the other day where I mentioned that I have a marketing agency that I'm putting together. That is something that I'm doing after 12 years of experience, okay? I really don't like to get on here and talk about things that I haven't done. So I feel like it's a natural move for me to go into marketing because I just have so much experience with content creation and everything like that, generating over 500,000 views between my channels and all my other avenues. So I feel like it's just a natural thing that I can do. And I know a lot of you have been asking me, hey, can I get on a call with you and can I get some consulting and stuff like that? I'm gonna also have a phone number where you guys can reach out. You can text me, you can call me. It might be either a Telegram, I don't know yet. I'm still figuring it out. So if you guys have any suggestions, drop them down below. But I'm getting all that together right now so that I can help other businesses out with their marketing, getting everything ready for their social media, creating that presence online, that digital footprint that's gonna help you elevate your business. Okay, so those are things that are all coming, guys, and all that spanned from me taking risks. Hopefully this video found someone that really needed it, and if you are going for that business venture, good luck with it, okay? Make sure that you guys stay grounded and stay humble. That is something that a lot of people lose touch with after they start seeing some success, is they stop being humble. You can't stop that because you have to remember where you came from. Alright, so without further ado, guys, I can talk all day. If you have any suggestions, drop them down below. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next video.